All right, what's up, guys? So we are 2 weeks out now from Tampa Pro. I think last time I did a vlog was 6 weeks out, so a little bit of a gap there. So yeah, we're gonna be vlogging also the next week. So all the weeks coming until the show, there's gonna be a lot of content coming up. We're gonna be doing the whole process of the peaking, the traveling, all that kind of stuff. So a lot of cool stuff is coming up. Some interesting announcements as well in the next coming weeks. So stay tuned for everything. Today, we're doing back and triceps. So you guys are gonna follow me around. We're gonna do some shots too, posing. You guys are gonna see a little bit what the condition looks like. And now it's our second high day in a row. So a little bit less conservative in terms of like training today because we have a little bit more fuel in the tank. So we'll be able to push a little bit more today. So that's a good part. Sometimes in the coming weeks, when the weeks are getting a little bit closer to the show, you have a little bit less food, you have a little bit less recovery as well. But yeah, we slept good. We have a lot of food in. So let's get it. All right. So follow me around. So we're going to warm up a little bit, just shoulders a little bit. And after that, we'll get on the push downs, get some blood into the lats. And then we'll start the process for the other exercises that are a little bit more like compound lifts. I'm having a little bit of the issues with my right shoulder. So now that we're getting closer, just make sure like I'm warmed up properly before I get into anything heavy. Especially those last weeks, you don't want to get hurt like when there's only 2 weeks left there. All right, let's move on. So we did 3 sets here. Felt good. I was telling Alora, I did a high day yesterday and I trained chest, and it still wasn't enough to actually feel anything contracting like I'm used to. And now today with the second high day, now I'm starting to feel like even after two sets, I'm feeling a lot more than my entire workout yesterday. So the contractions are there. Now I feel a little bit, not full, but a little bit, there's something happening. I actually feel something. So it's always positive when you're able to like actually see something come alive. And right now I'm already feeling it. My lats are already engaged. So now we're going to go with the high row. So now we're fully activated. I'm warmed up. Shoulders are warmed up. Let's go hit some weights. I always try to like do a couple, like now that we're deep in prep, I try not to do too many sets total that I kind of just like get a lot of reps in if I'm not going to do like a working set. So once I feel like, okay, I have a good, feel of it, I want to start with my heavy sets, so I'm not wasting energy. People might think that I go super low when I place the attachment because I'm so tall. But on these types of high rows, I want to get my contraction into my lower lat. So if I want to do that, I have to be a little bit more higher up. So that's why the position for me is important. When I was doing my sets before, it's kind of just adjusting and seeing where I'm actually landing my elbow. Then when I figure out, okay, this is where I want to feel it, then I start adding weight, right? I do 2 days of back a week now. So one day I'll be doing a lot more like rowing, a lot of thickness exercises and all that stuff. That's not today. That's on the Monday. And then today, we're Friday. We're doing a little bit of thickness stuff as well because that's my weakness. But we're doing more lat stuff today. So we're doing this. Then we're going to go do some stuff for my upper back. And then we're going to do also some pull downs and then maybe another row exercise, right? So 4 in total, plus if we want to count the push downs, 5 exercises, give or take. Really getting to the point, so no like wasted sets, just straight sets, making sure that the blood's pumping. And again, today we can push a little bit more because we have more food. But usually, like I said, you want to conserve energy. You want to make sure that your sets that you're doing are counted, and you want to make sure they're effective as well. At this point in prep, like I go by feel on like how many sets I'm doing per exercise. Sometimes I'll do 2, sometimes I'll do 3. It really depends on if I when I'm doing the sets, and this comes with experience, I think, but it goes with, if I think I could put in an extra set because I feel like I could have gave a little bit more, then I will. And if I see that I just went all out on the last set and I did 2 sets, then I'll be 2 sets and I'll just move on, right? Off season, I'll be able to handle a bit more volume, but now that we're very close to the show, again, it's energy conservation, conserving your energy basically. So if I see that I just gave it all on the last set and I was planning 3 sets, I'll just stop at 2 and then move on, and it's all good at that point, you know. All right, that's it. T-bar row. We're going to be focusing more on the upper back now. So that's for me, that's a weakness. Lower lats, get it, like, in terms of the wideness of how wide I am in terms of lat width. That's not a weakness necessarily for me anymore, but in terms of thickness, it is. So I'll add those, not necessarily this particular, but I'll add some upper back exercises on both back days just to make sure that I get that proper stimulation. So today, that's what we're going to be doing. So T-bar row, and really focalizing on the upper back, getting a nice squeeze at the top. And I really like this one. It's one of my staples every time I do this day. If I don't necessarily train here, I'll try to find a variation that looks like it, because I do feel like you can't really cheat because you're used to the pad. And as long as you control the weight and you're not trying to like ego lift, I think it's one of your best bets if you want to try to grow your upper back. As you notice also, when I'm doing the movement, when I'm coming down, I'm letting my shoulder, I'm not like, because usually when you'll see people, like the people will talk about like retracting scapula and getting everything. So that is true. You want to try to get a certain retraction and then you pull your elbow in. But also when you stretch the movement, to let your shoulder lead and then stretch your lat all the way down and stretch, in this case, your upper back. You can, your rhomboids and everything, try to like stretch everything out down. And then once you get that full stretch, then you get that squeeze at the top. So you just get full activation by doing that. That's it. All right, let's move on. Last back exercise for today. Supinated row. So like I was saying before, sometimes I vary that one. I might do a supinated pull down. Today I switched it up. We did something neutral. Now we're changing the grip for the rowing. I like this angle actually. I don't have to go that heavy, and you actually really feel it well. Oh shit. Yeah, we'll do one more in a drop set. That's it. Move up to tricep. Back is done. We're gonna go on triceps, 4 exercises, and then we're done. So back is done, short and sweet. We got what we needed. Got a couple angles. For today, I'm satisfied. Got a good pump, better than yesterday. Now that I got more food in, and yeah, back is my weakness. So I have to make sure that when it's those days, it's so important that I nail it, because that's where I need more improvement, right? So we'll see what it looks like on stage when it's like full. Like now we're filling out on certain days, but obviously we're not full like we would be on stage. So it's exciting to see, like, this isn't even like close to the final version, and we're already feeling like the skin's getting tighter. So yeah, I'm really excited for this year because it's my pro debut. A lot of Canadians are doing it too, guys from the gym. So for me, it's also fun to also not do this alone, and represent. Like that's really what we're trying to go do, and see where I stand with the guys this year, and then reevaluate for next year and see the improvements that have to be made. I kind of already know, like I just said, like my back needs a lot of muscle on, I think, to be competitive at this level. But let's see what the frame looks like. This morning I woke up, I was 290, 298, and we're doing another high day, so probably tomorrow I'll be close to 300 at 2 weeks out. So we're still holding on to a lot of size. I'll be probably around 20 pounds more than last time. So let's see what actually it looks like on stage. That's going to be really exciting. All right, so almost all the tricep exercises are done. Did a couple cable variation. We're gonna finish out with the dips. So dips, 3 sets, just finish out. We'll also get probably like a little bit of a contraction in your chest as well. And we'll look nice on pictures. And after that, we're gonna go hit some shots. All right, so let's get at it. Should we go get a pin? So idea is to always make sure that performance stays high, and that's what we're able to do, right? So if you saw the entire workout, we weren't necessarily like, the weight was pretty decent, maybe not as high as we would get in peak off season, but it's pretty decent. We're able to keep performance pretty high, intensity pretty high, but it's in and out. So as soon as we're done, we're set, we move on, we go to the next one. We don't want to linger too on junk volume. We just want to make sure that like every set is done to completion and done with intensity as much as possible. And then if we're not feeling like we're able to achieve that, we move on. There's no point in, like, at this point, you're not building muscle at this point. This point is just stimulating and keeping performance high to make sure that we're keeping the look as full and as hard as possible until the end. So 14 days left, not a lot of workouts left. Where the days are counted, so every workout counts. Last set. Okay. 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 That's it. All right. I just get a little bit of stimulation in my shoulder. Either it's rear delt or medial delt. At the end of my upper body days, I get one exercise in just to, shoulders are like a smaller muscle you can kind of hit a little bit more often. So I don't do a lot of like shoulder days. I implicate it with one of my back days, not this one, the one I do on Monday. And then every other day, I'll do a little bit of like stimulation in either my rear delt or my medial. My front delt gets enough activation with when I train chest and when I actually do my shoulder day, so I don't need to do some extra work there. But as for my rear and my medial delt, I usually put also some more work in there. And it's just, as an open bodybuilder, you can never have too much shoulders. So even this, at this point, we're not necessarily growing, but we're putting blood into the area where we make sure, especially like on a high day like this, we're going to be feeding throughout the day. So nutrients are going to go into where we actually have worked in this day. So now to put a little bit of blood into the shoulder is going to help us also. All right, so back days are wrap. We're outside. I'm going to show you guys what the physique looks like right now. It's a beautiful day, so we're going to be able to get some good shots in there. Follow along, so like, share, and follow the page. There's going to be a lot of content in the next weeks coming, and especially when we're going to be leaving for Tampa, there's going to be content done pretty much every other day or every day, you know, so vlogging just the whole process of like peaking for an actual open show and the pro debut. All right, it's exciting this year, so it's, you guys are going to see the whole process, the training, the food, everything that goes into it, and the traveling as well. So follow along, and that's a wrap for me. All right, enjoy the video.